Gopala Astrology Channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Guru Namaha. Okay,
Namaha.
welcome to Gopala Astrology Channel, gentlemen and ladies. And today we are going to have one more interesting session with Mr Sudhanwa. And it's going to be outer planets, which is very, very interesting topic. And it is not much spoken in general. Okay, classical astrology was ignoring certain planets beyond Saturn. And today we are going to talk more about planet Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And we are also going to talk about additional Centaurs. This was given as a contribution by Mr Greenstone Lobo. And we will understand the significance of planet X, Y, and Z, which are those. And we will connect them to our Indian mythological characters. And also we will study certain horoscopes which can really enlighten our knowledge on modern astrology.
Before we speak about the modern astrology, you have to tell the viewers why you have to speak about modern astrology.
Oh, certainly. We will do that. All right. So, Mr. Sudhan, we are going to have this session. In between, you have any questions, you are free to stop me, and then you can always ask questions. Okay, so let me share my screen right here. And this will be the presentation mode. Are you able to see me and hear clearly, Sudhan?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. So the topic of outer planets has been there for many years now. I've been using this for last 3 to 4 years, I can say. And why outer planets, and why is it that we need to really discuss and understand today? I'm going to tell you that, okay? See, for example, we have certain horoscopes that cannot be explained, okay? So when you go and look into the classical astrology and then put the horoscope charts of those persons, you will find that there are a lot of problems in the life of that person. And in spite of that, the person must have become very famous. You know, world famous personalities are born. Okay, so there is something behind them which we are not able to see in the normal classical Vedic astrology. And now this was brought into light to this world by Mr. Greenstone Lobo from India. Okay, he has amalgamated our Vedic astrology concept with the modern astrology when he included Uranus, Neptune, Pluto in a detailed way. Okay, Westerners have been using this for time immemorial, but Indian astrologers were only stopping at Saturn. Okay, we were having the 5 planetary system with Sun and Moon, the luminaries, and followed by Rahu, Ketu, the nodes, right? It was called as Navagrahas. But in reality, there is something beyond Saturn which is affecting all of us, right? So then, are you with me? Are you able to get my point here?
Yes.
So that is the significance, and there is always notes that we can refer back to the Mula Grantha, or the Mula textbook of, I can say, the Bible of Indian classical astrology, Brihat Parashara Horoshastra. So when you look into the shlokas written there, already our Parashara Maharshi, even though they did not have telescopes and stuffs like that during those times, they were having Divya Drishti. They had already, our sage Parashara Maharshi already had talked about something which is beyond Saturn. I'm not able to see at this point of time, but he talked about Kubera, he talked about, Yama, Prajapati, and so on and so forth. Right? So he also said that without the inclusion of these outer planets or outer bodies, the completion of astrology is not possible. But he had left it for the future research works to be done by subsequent generations. And I think, I personally feel, after looking into Greenstone Lobo and his research work and all the amazing things that he has been doing, I thought that he may be one of them, one of the descendants of the Parashara Maharshi, right? Because he has he has tried to fill in those gaps. All right. So let's try to go into the details of it. Before that, you have any questions at this stage, Sudhan?
Yeah, the question is like, how are we going to align these planets? You know, when we are talking about these outer planets in the houses, because we had to show them in the chart. Like,
Oh,
what are
certainly.
the own
See,
houses of these planets?
the concept of modern astrology or scientific astrology, actually, Mr. Greenstone Lobo calls it as scientific astrology. In that, we have the 12 houses, that means the 12 zodiac signs, and we will have 12 lords specifically. Right. There is no repetition. For example, Venus in classical astrology rules both Taurus and Libra, but in specific aspects of modern astrology, we say that Greenstone Lobo assigns Venus only for Libra, and Taurus is ruled by something else, which I'm going to talk. So there is a lot of differences. We will be very specific in addressing the concepts here. Okay, I'm going to show that one by one. Let's start with today's greatness in the zodiac. What is happening? Okay, today we are talking about this on the 3rd of July, 2022. And just yesterday, I've just taken a screenshot of yesterday's Panchangam. And there is something beautiful happening in our zodiacs. Okay, what is that? It's called Mala Yoga. So Mala is something like a necklace of pearls, you know. So such a beautiful arrangement of planets has happened yesterday. And you can see that it starts from Saturn. Saturn is at 0 degrees of Aquarius in his own house. Jupiter is in 13 degrees in his own house. Mars in his own house of Aries. Venus in its own house of Taurus. Okay, and Mercury is in Gemini in its own house. And Chandran or Moon goes to Karkataka Rashi or Cancer. So according to classical astrology, all these planets are aligned in their own houses, and this forms a mala. So all the pearls are in one side. So if you have to
outer planets here,
I have not included it. I have ignored Pluto here. I'm just telling as per classical astrology. If you see, and then night sky, when you align and you go outside and take a look, you can see a beautiful formation of a line of these planets. This happens very, very rarely. It's a very, very rare event. And if any, I'm personally expecting a great soul would have been born either yesterday or today morning, early in the morning, with this yogam. If there is a particular...
I just want to share one information, if it is very relevant. I was reading one book. In that, he has mentioned that Jesus is going to reincarnate in this generation.
Oh, I see. We never know. There is a godly soul that can be born in such combinations, because all planets know exactly what they need to do. They are all in their own houses, and they give the maximum results. Okay, so that's why I was very excited to see the Panchangam this early morning today. And one of my clients, the lady, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl in the early mornings of 4 o'clock this morning, Singapore. And I was very glad to suggest the name and other things for the baby. And then I told her, you are one of the lucky women to have a baby girl born in this Muhurtam. All right. So anyway, if you are really interested, I can show more details about it later on. But Mala Yoga happens very, very rarely. It's really rare. All right. So let's come back to our topic today about outer planets. What are these and how it really impacts human life? So first of all, we must know what is something called Kuiper belt. Okay, in our primary school, we have learned what is known as asteroid belts. Asteroid belts are the debris of solar system. That was formed during the formation of solar system between Mars and Jupiter. Okay, so they have the small cluster of stones, and they couldn't form into a planet, and so they were left out, right? So there is something beyond the track of Neptune and Pluto, and there are so many huge boulders of rocks that were also left out as huge debris during the formation of solar system. We were not very much focused on these all these years, but Greenstone Lobo started working on this with NASA people, and then he took out certain important stones from this. That means any stone or any body in the Kuiper belt is actually called as Centaurs, Centaurs. Okay, so he started working with more than 20 Centaurs, and then he came to last 3 of them. So I'm going to explain to you what is that in a own way. Okay, so the planets or the bodies which are beyond Pluto still influence human beings. They always affect us, and we need to understand how they affect us. That's the point here. Okay, so now this is precisely what I'm saying. You can see the red color, very elliptical orbit of Pluto is shown here, and then the violet color orbit of Neptune. So in between these two, the Kuiper belt is predominantly formed. All right. So there are so many bodies. There may be so many Devi Devatas who may be affecting us, but we have identified now, especially with the help of Greenstone Lobo's research, we have identified 3 important ones in that. Okay. So when you complete the cycle of 12 zodiac signs with 12 lords, it's going to look something like this. This is what I wanted to discuss with you in
Yes.
greater depth today. Okay, so let's start with Aries. So this concept says that Mars is going to still rule the Aries zodiac sign. And how do we understand this chart is this: the blue color, the planets written in the blue color here shows the owner of that particular zodiac sign. Okay, the red color ones here are called the exalted planets, or the Uchasthana planets.
Position.
Yes, the best position for them.
Right.
Okay, so this is how we have to start understanding Sun and Chiron. Chiron is another centaur, which is also there in the zodiac, which is which is beyond Pluto. Okay, so that's what is going to get exalted in the zodiac sign of Aries. All right. Then the surprise thing here is Taurus was previously ruled by Venus, and now it is taken over by Planet X. What is this Planet X? Very, very important. Planet X is called Kubera. Okay, I will just show you the slide of that, and then we'll come back here. Okay, so let me just talk about Planet X. So this is also a centaur, and the Westerners call it as Plutus or Pan-Horus. Okay, so they already knew this, and they were using this Plutus or Pan-Horus as the god of wealth. All right, Mr. Sudhan. So this was already there, and now Greenstone Lobo took the concepts and put that from Westerners' point of view, which is the solar astrology, and then he put it into our classical Indian astrological chart, and then he gave a lot of importance for this planet. Okay, so it is actually given the technical name as 2007 RH283. If you go to the NASA's website, you can always see this as RH283. So it was the centaur which was discovered in the year 2007. Okay, so in our Indian mythological character, you can always link it to who is known as Kubera. Kubera is the god of wealth. Okay, so all your personal possessions that you have, whatever liquid cash, even your cell phone or even any property, even your car, anything that gives you comfort, is material successes, what you see in life is all given by Plutus or Pan-Horus, and we call it as Kubera in Indian context. Okay, luxuries of life, stock market, it runs on Planet X. Okay, so how do we really understand this Planet X? If you go to a bank, for example, with a piece of check, okay, and you want to draw your money, and you will normally, if it is a high amount, you will go and see a manager and you will ask him, you have cash and all that. So that manager who manages the money in the bank is goddess Lakshmi. Okay, she is the one who manages the bank, but when she sees your check, she is going to see everything. Is it accurate or not? Is it genuine or not? And then she will say, please go to the cashier counter and you can encash your check. And who is sitting in the cashier counter? It is Kubera himself, or Planet X, right? So Lakshmi is the manager of the money. It's a very simple analogy. Cashier, Kubera, is the one who really gives you. Okay, it is something like, the god can give you the varam, but Pujari or the priest also has to give it to you, right? So you always have to pray to planet X. Some people have nowadays started calling planet X as Ganesha. For your information, Lord Ganesh, right? So Lakshmi and Ganesh, they are very synchronous to each other, and always whenever the Lakshmi Devi is going to give the wealth, and Ganesha is going to distribute it. Okay, that's the belief, and we call it as Kubera himself. All right, let's move on. So this is all about it, and it takes 64 years for this planet to go around the sun. Okay, because it's such a huge path that it is following. It is in the Kuiper belt. It takes 64 years. That means in some zodiac signs, it's going to spend 5 years. In some zodiac signs, it can even spend 10 to 15 years. All right. So all these planet movements are taken, the degrees and minutes, the positions, locations are all taken from NASA website, and he has converted that into sidereal system. That means Indian way of looking the planets, right? So he has done a great work, and he has put that in his website. Anybody can go into the www.greenstonelobos.com, and you can put your details, and you can find at any given point of time where is planet X. That's an outstanding contribution that Greenstone Lobo has given to us. Okay, now let's come back to our original chart here, and now we understand that Taurus is ruled by planet X. The next one, so let's go to Gemini. Okay, Gemini is ruled by Mercury in the classical astrology. So Mercury is the planet of knowledge, resources, all the intelligence that is there in the world is seen through, and then planet Y is going to get exalted. Now I'm going to talk about planet Y. What is this planet Y? So let's go to another slide which details the planet Y here. Okay. Planet Y is known as Vulcan in Westerners concept. So Vulcan is something seen like this, a meticulous person who keeps working on a repeated task. Okay. So in our Indian context, if you want to say, you can convert this into Vishwakarma. Right, Vishwakarma is somebody like a shilpi or a sculptor. So if you just take a piece of stone and give it to Vishwakarma, what he will do, he will have a hammer and a chisel, and he keeps working on it very meticulously. And over a period of time,
we can call him even as a blacksmith.
Yes, he's a blacksmith.
Right.
Yes, even blacksmith keeps working on a piece of metal and makes a beautiful thing.
I mean, even like mechanical engineers, lathe workers.
Yes, anybody who do the repetitive task. I'm talking about the mechanical engineer who does the repetitive task. It's not the designer. Designer is different. I'm going to come to Uranus.
I mean, like a lathe worker, no?
Lathe worker who is given a drawing and he keeps repeatedly making a production from the same drawing.
Even these Gujri people, like.
Possible, but they should have a repetitive tasks. Anything which is repetitive is Vulcan. Right. Okay, he will never get. And then you can relate this to accountants, right? Accountants and auditors, they are very meticulous and they keep doing the same repetitive task every single day and go into the minor details, right? So this was this was discovered in the year 1999 by NASA, and the Centaur is called JV127. Okay, so the word perfectionists, they fit in very much to the Virgo. That's why Vulcan is the planet which owns the zodiac sign of Virgo. It is no more jovial Mercury. Mercury is very active. It is very lazy. It's very intelligent. See, intelligent people are very lazy people. They don't work hard.
Even it is monotonous, right?
Very monotonous. So Mercury gets bored with the monotonous things. Mercury is very lively. It keeps changing every minute. Okay, so Mercury can never rule Virgo, which was wrong in classical astrology. Okay, I have proved it to myself.
Why healing is also incled in this? Because doctors' work is repetitive.
The doctors are very meticulous. See, there is nothing like how to say, there is no new invention kind of a thing. It is a repetitive task for a doctor.
There is a process.
See, always it's a process. See, in future, I will not be surprised that a robot can become a normal doctor, right? So, for example, this is what is going to happen in near future. The artificial intelligence is developing in such a way. Or suppose you are sick today. I have got some sore throat, and I want to go and see my doctor. And the doctor is going to be a robot, and you will just tell him your symptoms. that robot is going to listen, and it's all programmed with the real doctors, and it is going to just say that you need to take such and such a medicine, and a prescription is a printout is given to you. You know, that is possible. So the real doctors will have to work on something creative. It's not going to be monotonous kind of a stuff, right? So the doctors can be included under Planet Y. So whoever is having a very good position of Planet Y, they can be good doctors, very meticulous accountants,
exactly.
auditors. Auditors have to focus on repetitive tasks.
CA, everybody.
They are very, very good in numbers. People who are never getting bored with the numbers, you know, that's what it is. And that's why they have put healing, very methodical way of doing work.
Probably we have to check Ramanujan's chart and see what's his Planet Y position.
Ramanujan you should not include under Vulcan, because Ramanujan is he is a Uranus. He can think out of box. He is outstanding mathematician. He doesn't do repetitive tasks. He just invented one formula that nobody has done it before. So Ramanujan kind of people are outstanding, out of box people, right? So exactly opposite it is. It's good that you brought out that he fits into Uranus, right? That's the beauty of it. Let's go back to our chart again and then try to understand the next planet. So the next zodiac sign is Cancer, and this Cancer zodiac sign is ruled by Chiron. So Chiron is the original ruler of it. It's no more Moon. Moon is not to be assigned any planetary system, because Moon is the queen of the horoscope. The Sun is the king of the horoscope. Okay, so these are representing even your parents, mother. Moon represents mother. If you see the position of Moon in the horoscope,
I just want to ask you one question. How did they assign a house for Sun? Because every planet revolves around the Sun.
Exactly. And not only that, Sun is huge. 80% or 85% of solar system is Sun.
Yeah, I mean, he cannot move across the different houses.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's not that. It's a geocentric system. We understand that the Earth is moving, but we assume, we act as though that Earth is stationary in our system. Okay, because we live here.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that we should, but actually there is another planet, another Centaur that rules the zodiac sign of Leo. I will come to that. Hold on. So let's talk a little bit more about Moon and then Cancer. So Moon was assigned to Cancer zodiac sign because Cancer zodiac sign is very, 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 very sensitive, emotional zodiac sign. So original ruler, the healer, I call it as healer, Chiron. Okay, you know, emotionally when you are down, you need a person to pat on your back and then emotionally heal you. And that is what is Chiron. Chiron is a doctor, again. Okay, so Chiron owns Cancer zodiac sign, and who does the best in this zodiac sign is Neptune. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. Neptune gets deepest exaltation in Cancer zodiac sign because even beyond Jupiter, it becomes very, very spiritual planet. Okay, we had ignored that in the classical astrology. And of course, Jupiter also gets exalted in Cancer zodiac sign. These two are the exaltation planets, and then Chiron is the owner of this Cancer zodiac sign. All right, let's go to the next zodiac. Okay, what else to talk about Chiron? Chiron is a healer. Most of the doctors, they have a very good placement of Planet Y and also Chiron. These two are very, very important.
See, Chiron has to be there in every doctor. Is it like that? Because they have to do healing.
Most of the doctors, and especially those doctors who are in the clinics, who do the clinical practice, okay, who touches the patient, definitely they will have Chiron in a very good position. See, Chiron has multiple exaltation points. You can see that Chiron gets deepest exaltation point in Sagittarius, and also it gets equally exalted in Aries as well. This is all the research work of Greenstone Lobo. Okay, and when you apply it, when I practically apply, I have seen the doctor's horoscope and I have seen the Chiron doing very well. Okay, both from the houses point of view, that means Bhava point of view, as well as the placement of it. All right, so that's the thing. And then let's move on to the next one. Leo, the zodiac sign of Simha Rashi. The owner is no more Sun. Okay, it is planet Z. Planet Z, and then the deepest exaltation of Pluto happens in in Leo. Okay, in our previous session, I had spoken a lot about Pluto. I'm going to talk a little bit more today as well. So you can understand that the Leo zodiac sign, it's like a center stage, you know. People who are in the film industry, people who communicate, who are the leaders, you know, the dashing leaders of the world, and the people who have done outstanding work are all seen through Pluto being placed in Leo. Right? I have given several examples in my previous session.
You should talk about Pluto.
Pluto, exalted point. You can talk about Narendra Modi. You can talk about any of the rich
not
people.
Just that,
Sadhguru.
I mean, you should tell about the characteristics of Pluto, like how much it takes 250 years, right, to go around the sun.
Exactly. We are going to that also. So we are going to that also. I'm going to come to Pluto exclusively very shortly. I'm just covering these points. Okay, planet Z. I have a slide for it here. I just copied from Greenstone Lobo. He had explained this very well. Planet Z is actually called as Cupid in Western astrology. It's the god of desire, or Kamadeva, or Indra. Some people call it as Indra. I think Kamadeva is the right guy. Or Manmadhar, in Tamil we call it as Manmadhar, right? So there is something which is attractive in you that makes you famous in the world. Okay, people see you through that, and you become famous, and that is planet Z. Okay, it's planet Cupid, and it is used by Westerners for time immemorial. Okay, so it is actually discovered by NASA people in scientific way in the year 2008, and it is called FC76. If you want to see any location of the planet of this Centaur at any given point of time, you can go to NASA website and then put this technical number 2008 FC76. You can know the placement of this Centaur. It keeps revolving. Okay, so it takes about 57 years for this planet Z to go around the sun.
See, I mean, till now we were thinking Venus is the planet of attraction and the planet of fame.
Yes.
And see, I can see that relationships are also governed by Cupid. I mean,
yes, all your romantic relationships, there is something that attracts the outer world to you.
This is
that
like this says that the planet Z is more significant than Venus.
Yes. Right? So since you brought the word significance, I have a slide for it. Just remind me, I'm going to tell you what exactly Greenstone Lobo says. He tells you the priority that you have to, if you are a learning astrologer, you have to give maximum importance to Pluto, and it starts in that order. Okay, far the planet from planet or the Centaur, it is there from the Earth, maximum importance it has got in the life of human beings. This is something new. I could not really digest it when I saw this 3-4 years back, and I was ignoring him. And finally, one day I thought I should apply this and then see in my own practice, and I am seeing amazing results. Okay, so that's the importance of it. So you know the success of big stars and all is through planet Z.
Like, is it not so conglomeratory or difficult to come to a perfect conclusion? Like, there are so many features, so many characteristics for each planet. Like, say, for example, purpose is here, fame is here, creative work is here, and creativity is also ruled by Neptune.
Right? See, not Neptune, it is Uranus. So, creative work in the field of arts.
Okay.
For example, a person can do acting in a very creative way. See, for example, a person like Kamal Haasan, the South Indian actor, he started acting in a movie called Pushpak Viman or Pushpak Vimana. It was the first time we saw a movie. It's a silent movie. No dialogues were spoken, but yet it was a super hit movie. Right? It's a creative way of doing something new, right? So it can be in the field of arts, and creativity is not just in the engineering or medical science or anything. It can be in any field.
But as you said, seeing the importance of the planets from the outermost planets.
Yes.
Then we have how do we interpret a person's chart?
Yes.
Based on the importance of the planets, we take certain features, right? Because now you say that planet Z and Venus, they both have similar characteristics.
All your answers are in this slide, my friend. I'm going to come to you. You have to hold on, okay?
Right.
Remind me, power hierarchy of planets. This is what Greenstone Lobo has given, and I am strictly following this nowadays, okay? Maximum importance has to be given to Pluto, then the planet X, Neptune, Uranus, planet Z is fifth one.
I mean,
Where is
I'm
Venus?
feeling so sad that Venus has taken 13th position.
13th place, okay? Planet Z is fifth one. It is even ahead of planet Y and Chiron.
And Moon is the last, and it's also, why is it the
Moon
last?
is the normal moon is the last, but full moon and new moon, whenever the moon goes to that extreme point,
Okay.
that become 8th position.
Nice.
And mysticism happens on this 8th position. Coincidentally, it's number 8 also. Number 8 in numerology represents.
Yeah, number 8 has a very...
And this 8th position that is given.
Yes.
Then comes Saturn. See, all the time in our classical astrology, we made Saturn as the villain. You know, anything bad happens, it is Saturn. Anything bad happens, it is Rahu. Rahu is not even in the picture, my friend.
See, why?
So 15,
exactly.
Rahu and Ketu are not even in the picture.
Correct.
They are not even considered here.
Yeah, but you spoke about Kala Sarpadosha. So, right?
Yes, it becomes very significant when it comes in certain positions of Kala Sarpadosha. Exactly. It happens. It happens. Okay, so I'm coming to this slide. You kind of jump into that one. Let's go back and complete this analysis meticulously. I want to be planet Y. I think my planet Y is exalted, I think. So I like to go systematically, and I have a lot of patience. Okay, so what is that I'm trying to explain here is this. Planet Z is very, very important. It's very, very important. This is what it makes you really famous, and whichever is the house it is for you, you have to apply practically like what we do in classical astrology. All right, let's go to the next one, Virgo. The zodiac sign of Virgo is really ruled by planet Y, and it also gets exalted there. We call it as exaltation point and all that. And nowhere it is written here that Mercury is exalted in
Mercury.
You are surprised. Mercury gets exalted where? In the zodiac sign of Aquarius. What a surprise, right? Yes, and for me it makes sense. Aquarius is an innovative sign, and Mercury goes there. Mercury doesn't go for meticulous job. It wants to jump. It wants easy things to be done.
Now, seeing this, if you compare classical astrology, people will get totally. It is.
It happened to me. Yeah. I couldn't accept this slide.
Right.
Years back, my friend, I'm telling you my personal experience. Okay, right. I'm practicing astrology for last 25 years in full Zoom, in my way, and I couldn't accept.
See now, whatever.
Chart. Suddenly, somebody Greenstone Lobo comes from nowhere, and then he says, "This is this."
So, are you saying that all these years those interpretations were wrong, or it was?
I don't say wrong. I am saying that there is something upgrading was required. Somebody sometimes 10,000 years ago or 15,000 years ago, we never have any document when Parashara Maharshi was really existing. We didn't know that.
But still, and people were accurate predictions, right?
We were using a 10,000-year-old knowledge all the time. It needs, seeking is something like this. The more you know, the more you don't know. When you are in this direction, then you are in the correct direction, right? So somebody.
What I'm saying is like. Are you not self-contradicting yourself, saying that?
I'm not. Initially, I was. Initially, when I started using this, I was also in a. But when I saw more than, I think more than 500 horoscopes now, I can say confidently. Okay. I have used Greenstone Lobo's concept and classical astrology. I use it for the dashas and antardasha. When I do this amalgamation, I'm seeing outstanding results. See, I will come back to you.
There's always a conflict now because the old school says something and the new school says something, right?
It's not a conflict. It is actually a betterment. You will come to know. Right. Have patience. Let me complete the rest part of the thing for our viewers as well. Mm-hmm. So planet Y is really ruling Virgo. All right. Let's go to next one, Libra. See what is happening here. What a fantastic thing. Saturn still gets exalted in Libra, which is correct. And Venus is the ruler of Libra alone. It's a very creative planet, Venus. Very artistic, beauty, planet of beauty. It is still there. It governs the zodiac sign of Tula Rashi or Libra.
Mhm.
But who is getting exalted here, my friend? Our planet Cupid or planet Z
See,
gets
they have
exalted.
exactly.
Exactly, it gets exalted in the zodiac sign of Libra, right? So that makes sense, correct?
That makes
So
like both. It's like you can match the colors, right?
yes, yes. So now you can. I'm opening this forum to a lot of research work. You just take a beautiful lady who is there. They should have some aspect of either Venus or planet Z very well placed in your horoscope. For example, Madhuri Dixit. She was ruling Bollywood for almost 3-4 decades. Even now, when she comes on the screen, everybody sees her. Right? Second time people want to see her because there is some attraction in her. So she's born in ascendant sign of Libra her itself, and she has Venus right there in the Libra, right? So it is possible. So you have to start seeing different celebrities and known people in your own family circle. If you are a new astrologer, you will see that this makes perfect sense.
So that
Okay?
means the person who has Venus in the ascendant means hair should be good.
It will be, because especially it starts with the hair.
Mhm.
The head region, the hair will be very soft and silky. If you have that is actually called Malavya Yogam. See, I was just mentioning this in our previous session. Even Osama bin Laden, who is the most wanted terrorist for America and all that time, he has Malavya Yoga. For your information, he is born with Malavya Yoga. He was very handsome guy. If you look into the old pictures of Osama bin Laden when he was a really good guy, or whatever, I don't know about him. I don't want to mention anything about it. I don't want to be a part of controversy.
Don't
But
become the controversial thing here.
yeah. But there is a good in everything, in everybody. There is a element of goodness in everybody. Without that, nobody is born. We will be good in some aspect. Okay, majority he might have done certain bad things, but he had that Malavya Yogam. Take example of Vladimir Putin. Putin is born in Libra ascendant. I have made a horoscope of Putin's separate video. You can see that he has an exalted Venus right in the Libra. He was a very handsome guy, very diplomatic in his approach, but
Yeah, he is.
has other negative planets which makes him a crazy man.
Mhm.
But he has all that ability, He has the deepest exaltation planet, Pluto, in Leo.
And I have seen in many videos, he's very kind to animals.
Very kind, very kind. So unfortunately, he's not kind to human beings who are in Ukraine anyway. So that is unfortunate for this world, Okay, let's go to the next one, Scorpio. And Scorpio is a very, very deep and intense zodiac sign, something which is hidden deep inside the earth, something which is not coming to the limelight, always inside the gutter, inside the, something which is hidden. And who rules it? Pluto. Pluto is the god of death. Okay, we call him as Mahakal Shiva, right? So Shiva rules Scorpio. So constructive destructions will happen.
Shows the Pluto's character.
Yes. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to that slide and I'm going to show you what Greenstone Lobo had to mention about this guy Pluto, right? So there is a lot of controversies that keeps going on, isn't it? So everybody says Pluto is a planet or a dwarf planet or whatever it is, but please understand, astrologically, Pluto has the maximum importance. Okay, it represents Lord Yama, the god of death, god of underworld. It's written as underworld. It rules Scorpio, my friend, not Mars. Mars is a soldier. He attacks direct on you. He will never hide. Mars is a soldier who is brave, but Pluto hides. He attacks you in a very, very nasty way. Very, very nasty way. And he has no mercy. Okay? If you see these characteristics, I'm going to just read quickly. Extraordinary wealth. The most richest god of all is Lord Yama, the god of death. Because everybody one day, any rich man, either you are a Bill Gates or you are a roadside beggar, you have to die and all the wealth goes to the Yama, right? So he accumulates everybody's wealth. He's the richest in the world, okay? And then the death happens through Pluto, okay? And then murders, very brutal murders. We just heard in Udaipur that one tailor was slaughtered. This type of things happen with Pluto. Maybe that murderer had Pluto in a very third house, for example. If you take merciless people, they will have Pluto in either the third house, hands, or it can be in the brain, the Lagnam itself.
Oh.
Okay. Sex, the sexual urges, which is caused by Pluto. The power struggles, people who are the power mongers who want to sit in the throne, right, are seen like people like Aurangzebs may be there, for example, maybe having the Pluto in the Lagnam.
Yeah.
Okay. All the upheavals, destructions, terrorism. See, he has put this word terrorism here before 1990, or I can say easily mid 80s. We never heard about a word called terrorism. Okay, we were having rowdyism was there, or something bad elements are always there in from time immemorial. But the real word, terror word, came into limelight only in the mid 90s, mid 80s, and more so profoundly after 90s, 1990 and above, right? Why? See, the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, it represents our higher belief systems. Pluto entered Sagittarius in that time frame, in the early 90s. So all the killings in the name of religion and all the things that happened, wrong gurus, wrong preachings, started when Pluto entered the house of Sagittarius. Right? So for a long time there.
I just want to ask you something like related to this Pluto. Is the significance of Pluto is more powerful on the time of birth, or is it also like as time passes, wherever the Pluto enters, it creates its impact?
See, well, okay, then you are asking a very fundamental question already. I don't know why you got that fundamental doubt, but yes, it's good that you ask. See, I like such questions. Please understand, whatever is in the horoscope, the time that you are born, it is called Prarabdha Karma. That means it is the bank balance of your past life events. Okay, that is what you are born with it. And whatever is, the planets are not stationary, they keep moving, they are dynamic, right? Yes. So whatever is happening now is Gochara Palam. Okay, in most of my videos, I always keep saying Gochara Palam is going to be 25%, and the Prarabdha Karmam that you brought it is 75%. That is seen through Dashas and Antardashas of planets. The 75% result is given by that. 25% comes with this one. And even I had explained to you in one of our previous discussions that how to relate that, the Prarabdha Karmam, the Dashas and Antardashas, and when you are driving a car, the atmosphere that you have is the Gochara Palam, or the transit results, and then the road itself represents your Dashas and Antardashas. Right? So if Dasha Antardasha is good, that means the road is good, you can drive safely. If that road itself is having problems, you have a lot of...
you meant to say a person born in a very good Pluto and going through a bad Pluto can have contradictory results.
75% comes from his horoscope.
Yes.
From his karma. Okay? Right. You are born
if he is born in a very good Pluto, and if the transitory period is good, that means it's a very good period. It has best results.
The person can become the prime minister. A chai wala can become a prime minister. Now an auto wala has become a chief minister.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Shinde, who has just become the prime minister.
I think he was also born in.
He is born in the year 1964.
64, right.
And he also has the exalted Pluto.
Okay,
and it is not in that grey lizard. Okay, he has just passed the grey lizard. It is the next avatar.
Even Nirmala Sitharaman is born in grey lizard.
Yes. Okay. So many things you can relate to Pluto and success of the people. All right. So that's what it is. And good thing about Pluto is that it's going to give rebirth, regeneration. The death is very important. Death is a healing actually. A person who is on his deathbed, he may be suffering. He will be waiting for the death to take his soul away. Why? Because the suffering becomes too much. He cannot take it. That is the time the Pluto comes as a healer. The Lord of the God of Death comes as a healer for that body. Right? He takes away the soul. So it's the healing, it's the transformation. Many things can be going ups and downs. For example, if Pluto is right in the 7th house, and even if it is in the same angle as that of your Lagna, the person's married life will become lot of ups and downs he will see. Okay, and then a lot of transformations can happen. The person can see a divorce, or he can live with the same person, but there will be lots of fights, and it's going to be big task. If a person has Pluto in the 10th house, but in a negative way, then he is going to have problems in his job, because 10th house is karma.
So whichever house, if it is positive, it's good. If it's negative, it's not good.
Not good. So we have to give maximum importance to Pluto whenever we see this person's horoscope.
And when you are saying maximum number of the people are born in the same position of the Pluto, because
please understand, the lagna keeps changing, my friend.
Right.
Every 24 hours you will have 12 combinations. So lagna, the position from lagna is very important, and moon is also very fast moving, right? So lagna and moon determines your mind and your body. So Pluto is slow. It's very slow in going. It's having a very eccentric orbit, very eccentric and very elliptical orbit. So in some zodiac sign, it just stays for 5 years. In some zodiac sign, it stays for almost 19 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So Pluto is the maximum importance that we have to give in astrology from now on, at least. Okay. The next one, let's go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, of course, it's ruled by jovial Jupiter, the Guru Bhagavan. It is the one which is representing the universities. All the Sagittarius itself means it is university, learning, house of learning, school.
Oh.
Whatever you learn in this life is all seen.
So whoever is born in Sagittarius is
many people, yes,
right?
They are very learned people. They will. If you have a Sagittarius ascendant, you will be definitely related to something like university and all, provided Jupiter is well placed. If Jupiter is very badly placed, they may not be, but they will be respected. They will take some leadership role for sure. Okay, and they will be born with $1 million smile all the time.
Oh, okay, that is only for Sagittarius, is it?
Yeah,
that is only for Sagittarius.
No, I'm just there are other features, but definitely. Any Sagittarius ascendant person, you just look at their face, they will be very smiling and they will be very jovial kind of people and very stubborn. You cannot control them. It's a fiery sign. You cannot change them easily. Okay, and who is getting exalted? It's the Chiron. And the 8th Lord, Chiron, gets exalted in Sagittarius. Imagine the person is born in Sagittarius Lagna, and if he has Chiron in his Lagna itself, you know what is going to happen? 8th Lord coming to the first house. So he is a healer, right? He will be the perfect doctor, surgeon, who can cut and take out the tumors, right? So 8th house is all about something which is deep hidden.
Because there is a Jupiter, house of education and healer. Definitely he is going to be a doctor.
Exactly. And he's going to be surgeon, in fact.
Yeah.
Right? 8th house is all about surgery. Next. Let's go to Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of discipline, government, higher authority, bosses. You know, many bosses are born in Sagittarius, in Capricorn. Discipline and.
I mean, wherever Saturn is there, it means it's going to be
discipline. Take control of it. So,
I mean, if you don't come on time, you're fired.
You are fired. So, if I don't come on time, next time you will fire me.
I'm not in Sagittarius. But still, I have a good Saturn. That means I expect people to be on time.
It's correct, right?
Right.
That's the role of Sagittarius. And I mean, Capricorn is the real ownership site for Saturn and not Aquarius. See, Aquarius cannot be assigned for Saturn because Saturn always discipline. He is the implementer. You know, he is the one. The law is written by Jupiter, and Saturn is the implementer of that.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yes.
He is very strict. He is the judge.
Yes.
And he cannot be in the jovial sign of Aquarius.
Aquarius is watery sign, right?
Aquarius is watery sign. Aquarius is a very, very innovative sign.
Okay.
You know, so it is a sign which is giving rise to scientists.
Okay.
And people who do a lot of design of experiments. But Saturn doesn't like experimentation. It wants
it's kind of rigid, I guess.
Very rigid. Whereas Aquarius is actually the next topic.
Because for innovation, you have to be flexible. You cannot be rigid.
Very flexible, and you should be willing to take a risk. You never try, you never know.
It's like more like a gambling.
Yes. You have to gamble a bit so that you can discover accidentally. If Thomas Alva Edison didn't do that gambling and try different experiments.
It's
we could
not
never
like
have
a
an
fixed
electric bulb.
protocol, like Saturn fixed protocol doesn't work with Aquarius.
He doesn't deviate things.
Right.
Okay, and look who is going to be the exaltation planet here. It's Mars.
Yeah, that means a soldier, right?
Yes.
He has to be very
He's
disciplined.
very disciplined, and he follows the command, whatever the king gives to him, or the commander-in-chief gives to him.
Exactly.
Right? So that's what Mars finds as the best place to get exalted. Okay, let's go to Aquarius. Let's quickly finish these two and then go, because I felt that I should spend a lot of time on this slide.
This is a very
interesting. Many new astrologers who are seeing this video also can benefit from this.
Exactly.
You know that Greenstone Lobo has explained this in several of his sessions, but I thought I will talk more on this slide so that it benefits all of our viewers.
Because there is no other resource on Planet X. You are the second person, I guess, who is talking about Planet X.
Yeah, because I am so excited and I have used it practically on my clients, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the thing. And let's go to the next one. Aquarius is the zodiac sign, which is very innovative, and Mercury fits in very well here. Mercury gets exalted here. And Uranus is the owner of it. And I have to talk a lot about Uranus now, and then I have to explain to you. Okay. Uranus is, and before that, I will make a very bold statement here. The bold statement is Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. It is the Trimurtis itself. Uranus represents Brahma, the creator. Okay, Neptune represents the maintainer, the Vishnu, or the Mayavi Vishnu, who is the highest level of consciousness in this entire universe. Okay, and then the last one is Pluto. As I told you, it is Mahakal Shiv. So the creator, the maintainer, and the destroyer. All these three we were
Pluto is Shiv, also Yama, right?
Yes, both. You can relate it to both. Okay. And Saturn is the elder brother of Pluto. Raviputraha Yamagrajaha. Right? He is the elder brother of Yaman. So there is a lot of relation between Saturn and Pluto.
Okay.
Okay, let's throw some light on Uranus now, which is very, very important planet. Okay, I told a lot about Pluto. Now it is Uranus. The symbol also looks very unique, right? So it is actually the god Indra himself. Okay, in a way you can say, because it's also going to control the rain and thunder and new innovation. There are a lot of stories about Indra who stole something like the holy river Ganga and then put it. There is a lot of information about it. I do not go by mythological stories in detail. Of course, I read it for the sake of curiosity, but I don't go by it. I go by the science. Okay, so basically, Westerners call it as Prometheus, and it's the god of sky. Okay, it's blue in color, and it's always the disruptor of old order. The people who go and do their love marriage and they get married.
It is like you break the old superstition and you create, you kind of break the dogmas.
Yes. Yeah, always we say, who bells the cat? That is the first person. No, everybody is scared.
Yeah.
And then who bells the cat is Uranus actually. People break their rules. For example, a Hindu guy can go and marry a Muslim girl, or a Muslim girl go and marry a Christian boy.
Definitely, whatever related, whatever the modern, the shift in the generations.
So whoever has this Uranus, for example, as the seventh lord and placed in the fifth house or something like that, okay, and Leo is the ascendant, and that fellow is going to marry definitely out of his caste or out of his religion itself. I have seen many examples, innumerable. After that only, I fully accept whatever Greenstone Lobo has put in his research work.
Okay.
I don't know if he sees this video, but I'm very thankful to him for really bringing up a lot of things about Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Okay, so any invention you see, inventors, whenever the Uranus goes to the deepest exaltation point, a lot of inventions happens. Okay, when you can put the year when the typewriter was started, for example, and you go and Google that is if you go back to the NASA website and see, Uranus must have got into the deepest exaltation point in that case. And it's like that. So iPhone was created, was invented.
Even like the Industrial Revolution started, the computer.
Industrial Revolution, you can relate it to Pluto, and then of course Uranus also. Something new.
Something new.
Okay, invention of an airplane, invention of a car,
Right.
Anything that comes new to this world is all Uranus. Okay, surprises. It's a planet of surprises, sudden things. All your liberations, awakening. It takes about 84 years to go around the sun. 84 years, it's a long period of time, you know.
Right.
And it stays in certain zodiac signs for a longer period as well.
Right. Right.
Okay, so anything new, anything which is creative in yourself, you should look into the position of Uranus in your own horoscope.
I mean, those who go antisocial, they also might have Uranus in their chart.
Yes, antisocial, but see, they are harmless. They are not like Pluto. Pluto is a destroyer.
Yeah, I mean, antisocial. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I mean is, they don't follow the society.
Yes, they don't follow. They believe in everything. They are very free thinkers. For example,
they can be like atheists. You know, they don't have any kind of belief system.
They believe everything. They don't care. For example, if a person is born under Hindu religion, he may go to a mosque and pray. He don't feel anything wrong. He can go to a Gurudwara and pray to the Sikh. He can go to a synagogue and pray for a Jewish God. It doesn't matter.
Right.
He is
basically open-minded.
Open-minded. So open-minded people have very predominant Uranus in their horoscope.
Right.
All right. So the next one and the last zodiac sign here I want to talk about, and then we'll talk about Neptune. Right. So it is the Pisces. Zodiac sign of Pisces is called Moksha Karaka symbol in one's life. You know, it's the 12th zodiac sign, and it is having the exaltation point for Venus. Venus gets deepest exaltation in 27 degrees of Pisces, right? It's very surprising, right? Venus is the planet of love. But how can it be spiritual?
Yeah,
yes.
How can it be giving moksha when it is a planet
because
of
when you love something and that love becomes too high and it becomes too deep love, and finally it goes to the God. You know, the God is the final answer.
Yeah, I mean, like bhakti,
anything. So the deepest love is the higher consciousness in the world, in the universe. Okay, and who is the owner of this is Neptune. I want to talk a lot about Neptune in a minute. So this Neptune represents the highest consciousness in this universe, right? Mahavishnu, you can call him as Allah, you can call him as Jesus Christ, it doesn't matter. Whatever is your religious belief system, whatever you think is the highest in this universe, that is what is represented by Neptune. And look where it is getting deepest exaltation point of Neptune. It is in the zodiac sign of Cancer. Cancer is very emotional. See, all spiritual people are very emotional in their inner being. You know, they will have that kind of, they will talk to their God, for example. So they will be like crazy, you know, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and all. Those people, so one fine day, I always keep telling about Paramahamsa, because he has seen or realized, that the goddess Kali is in front of him. Maybe he might have seen it, right? Ahasas, right?
There's another version of it. Like finally, he had to destroy Kali, because Kali it's an illusion.
And, whatever it is, some people call illusion, some people say that he really saw the goddess, so he became crazy and he started coming out and dancing in the street. Everybody thought something happened to him, but he was excited and he was seeing his own goddess. Okay, whatever he believed. So that is it. So we covered all the 12 zodiac signs now. If you really apply this holistically, and this slide, our viewers can take a screenshot and keep it in their cell phones or computers, like what I did. I just took the screenshot from Greenstone Lobo, and I'm using this practically every day. Okay, that's the point of it. And then let's just
let's move on to a chart, and we'll talk about
certainly I will do that. I will do that. Just to throw a little bit about Neptune, because it is so critical now in the practical world. What is happening is Neptune, after 84 years, has come back to its own house now in the zodiac sign of Pisces. Right, it just entered very recently, like 3-4 months back, and that is why we are seeing a lot of problems on the sea and rain. So it's going to bring a lot of rain. It's going to give you a lot of problems related to the water. Okay, so that is the thing. So
other than that, what change is it going to bring on the world?
it's going to make this world very spiritual. So nowadays, see, all people are now, what is this yoga day? Yoga day, it has spread a world of peace, and everybody, see, yoga is just not exercise. It is beyond the bodily exercise that right? It gives a lot of
yoga. People, whoever learns yoga, they are are always interested in meditation. They are curious about the next.
KNOW, no yoga, then no roga. NO, no roga. So if you know the yoga, there is no roga. Something like that. So all these things are going to flourish in this world. The spirituality is going to go higher and higher, and we will see a lot of peace. That's what Neptune is going to bring. Okay, and it's going to stay from this 2022 to probably until 2030. Next 8 years, we are going to have a beautiful Neptune.
Greenstone Lobo was mentioning that in 2025 there's going to be a very disaster because of Pluto. I mean, if you can talk about it, it's going to be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. We can make separate videos on that, and we will share our knowledge. But the thing, we are now first getting introduced ourselves in deeper aspects for Neptune.
Giving you a thought, not
yes,
right
it
now.
is possible. But I always go with the positive mental attitude. I will see. I know that Neptune is going to cause. It's a god of sea. It's just entered its own house. It's very excited to be back after 84 years. And now it's going to cause some problems related to water. It's going to cause a lot of floods and things like that. There will be a lot of problems initially. But once it's settled down in his own house, it's something like that, right? After a long vacation, when you come back home, very excited, things are helter-skelter, you don't like that, and you would have got a lot of knowledge, and you will come back and you want to do it in your house. That's what Neptune is doing. Okay?
He's just going to disrupt certain things like the order of the world.
Yes. One good thing about Neptune, what I want to say is the illusion. I think the word illusion is not here, but actually the illusion. See, for example, a monument like Taj Mahal, for example, what a beautiful masterpiece it is. Imagine you just have a helicopter view of that Taj Mahal, and you will see it's a beautiful. You are seeing some plants and other things around it, but when you see that white piece of marble in a dome shape, when you see the helicopter view, you will feel that something is illusion. Is this correct? Is this real? Like that you will feel. That is what Neptune does. Okay, it gives you some illusion. For example, if Neptune is placed in your 8th house, 8th house is all about acquiring properties and inheritance, right? So your inheritance becomes an illusion. You thought that your parents are going to give you inheritance and you will be thinking about it. After a while, that illusion will be gone and you will not get it. Maybe you may have to pay for them. I'm just telling an example. And if it is in the house of marriage, 7th house Neptune, you will find that your partner is a beautiful spouse, okay? And as you start living with her or him, then you will start seeing the bad things about them. And many times it may even end up in divorce. 7th house Neptune can cause divorce. I have seen that when it is in a bad place. Right? It was an illusion. You thought whatever it is. So the situation is, you thought you married an Aishwarya Rai.
No, the situation, like what example, you thought it is a horse, but it's a donkey.
It's possible.
Yeah.
That's what Neptune does, and it creates a lot of illusion in human beings. We many times we'll be thinking we are the king of this place and all that, but we have to leave this place and go. It's very temporary world, my friend. Okay, I think we have spent enough time on this, and again the hierarchy part. Okay, please see this hierarchy. Give importance in this. Okay, the least importance is given to moon if it is not waxing or waning in extreme points. That is new moon and full moon. Okay, so you know what is going on. So these planets
how many days should we consider the full moon? 1 day, 2 days?
Normally it will be, sometimes it happens more than 24 hours. Right?
Not more than that, right?
Yeah, not more than that. Not more. So many celebrities, kings, royal people are born either on the full moon or the new moon. That's why their horoscope becomes extremely significant.
So that means if they're born in a full moon or a new moon, sun and moon will be on the same house.
Yes, new moon means sun and moon are in the same house. Full moon means they are exactly 180-degree opposite. They are in 7th house from each other. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of planets. I want all our viewers to take a screenshot of this and keep it. It's very, very interesting. Okay, so let's try to understand one practical horoscope. And I think even the research work of Greenstone Lobo started with this guy, Amitabh Bachchan, our great Big B. Right? Who doesn't like Big B? I'm a big fan of Big B anyway. All the time I had a dream of becoming like him and things like that. So I always love this guy. Once he comes on the screen, he creates an illusion, I can say, to people like me and you, right? So now, if imagine I take the name Amitabh Bachchan and I just present this horoscope to any simple astrologer, even he may be a student of astrology. So if this is a classical chart and then show it to them, they will say, oh, this guy has ascendant Ketu and he is having Rahu in the 7th house. His married life must be screwed and his love life must be screwed. And he has got 5 planets in the 8th house. And this man must be having n number of health problems, financial problems because of Mercury also there. And then, Sun is also in the 8th house. This guy must have had surgery and then many multiple health issues and things like that. And 4th house, he has Saturn. So he must have a lot of problem in his native land and all that, they may say. But what is Amitabh Bachchan? Amitabh Bachchan is something magnanimous personality. So there must be something missing in the classical chart of astrology that makes Amitabh Bachchan Amitabh Bachchan. So the next slide is the answer for that. So if you see his Greenstone Lobo chart, he came as a very ordinary actor. He was even shy, he was even rejected by the TV serial makers or something like that. He wanted to start with the television in the initial stage, but he was rejected. But look what happened to him. He was the Bollywood king, sorry, for 4 years, for 4 decades at least. Now, there is a missing factor. What is that? That is what is your Kubera, Planet X. Okay? Planet X is in deepest exaltation point in Aquarius. Look at the position of this. It's almost in the fag end of Aquarius. It is called the nascent point. Right? So whenever this happens, Planet X is in 29 degrees of Aquarius. And look at his Lagna. Lagna is just nascent Lagna, 1 degree 56 minutes. This may not be exact, but I have just taken this data from the internet. We don't know what exact, it could be plus minus, but still, it is Aquarius Lagna and the 4th Lord comes into the 1st house in deepest exaltation point. Right? And in the hierarchy, I must give very high importance for Planet X, isn't it? After Pluto is Planet X.
29 degrees is the deepest exaltation, is it?
Yes. So, 4th Lord, 4th house is what? All comforts. 4th house is the motherland. His motherland is India, and all Indians love Amitabh Bachchan. Right? So, the motherland planet comes to his Lagna. All people love him. It comes to him, all the name and fame, all the sukham. 4th house is all about properties. 4th house is about vehicles. What comforts you want is all seen by the 4th house. That comes to him.
I mean, look at his 8th house, all red planets. I can't see.
Yes, but look at what is green there. Planet Y. He is meticulous. Meticulously, he got treatment, and Planet Y saved him from all. He was no doubt during the film Coolie shooting, and he was having a deep incision on the liver. He was really having a bad time that time, and he got into accident. But he came out of that. Right? So he was rescued with all these red planets. Still, the mighty Planet Y takes over and gives him the relief. And that's why he came out of the problems, And Planet Y is exalted. Planet Y is planet of numbers, I said, right? Kaun Banega Karorpati, KBC. Exactly. He came out he was a pauper, right? He started what is called ABC Corporation, and it lost money, and he was nothing for a while. But he came out like a phoenix out of nowhere, and then he started a TV show in late 90s, and that became a super hit and brought him back all the money. Isn't it? The number game.
Yes.
Right? That is the point here. Look at only 4 planets are exalted for him. Planet X, Saturn.
He should be extremely lucky to have planet X and Y.
Exactly. That is, and they are in the best position.
Otherwise, this person would have not even been known to the world.
Known to the world. So now you know this one chart can give you a lot of confidence on the scientific astrology developed by Greenstone Lobo. That's why I always keep looking and re-looking at this chart many times.
If you just take out planet X and Y, what do you say about this person?
He would have been very ordinary guy, some villager with nothing, no education. He would have died a very simple life. 100% sure, because he is in the Rahu Ketu axis. He is screwed. His health is screwed. He's Ketu. He would have got multiple problems.
You think those other planets never influence him the way they should influence him?
No, he has all the cycle of activities going through all the planets, but predominantly this Centaur has helped him. That's why I also call this as Kubera or Ganesha also. He prays to Lord Ganesha a lot. I don't know whether you have seen it or not.
Yes.
He always go to the Ganesha, the famous Ganesha temple.
Maharashtra people mostly they are worshippers of Ganesha.
They worship the Lord Ganesha, yes. And there's a very famous temple in Mumbai. Very lucky. So he also visits to that temple very often, right? So Siddhi Vinayak temple, if I'm not mistaken. I had a chance to go there. And then it always is flooded with people. You cannot get the darshan so easily. It's a very, very lucky temple in Mumbai, in the heart of Mumbai city. Okay, so it talks about planet Y and planet X. These two planets have saved this soul, and he becomes Amitabh Bachchan for this world. Let's look at the other chart.
Yeah.
The next chart is very interesting. He is Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudeva. So he was nobody in the initial stage of his life, and he has now become a very famous celebrity, right? Who doesn't know Jaggi Vasudeva now?
See his chart, even as a classical chart, it is good.
Classical chart also he is good. At the same time, look at his chart. Where is planet X?
Yeah, it's own
planet X is in Swasthanam. He is born in Taurus ascendant. Okay. And ascendant is at the middle of the Rashi, and planet X happens to go to closer to the nascent point. It's towards the back end of the Rashi, and it gives very, very high importance to this man. He came out of nowhere, and look at where is Pluto. And Pluto is the seventh lord. Seventh house is other people. And that other people planet goes and sits in the Matrubhumi, fourth house. So he spreads the beautiful message of his motherland to the entire world. And it's multiplied and amplified by Pluto, my friend. Pluto is green Pluto for him. And look at where is Pluto located in his chart, 7 degrees. It has not entered that 1959, right? Another 2 years later, people born like Sanjay Dutt and all, that's a disastrous charts. But this one is still the eagle avatar of Pluto in a way. And then he is seeing a lot of success in spiritual life. Okay. And where is his... okay, look at the Saturn. This 7th house Saturn did not give a good married life for him. Later on, his wife died in a very mysterious way and all that, right? 7th house. And look at Neptune. This is what I wanted to say. 11th Lord in the 6th house. Okay. 11th Lord, and it's a green Neptune. It is getting amplification effect from Rahu as well. So that is why you cannot challenge the Sadhguru. I am seeing a Sadhguru sitting in the university levels, you know, in a platform where research scholars, you know, the top research scholars are sitting, and Sadhguru is also sitting, and everybody is listening to him, right? Can you imagine a person, he might have not even studied BCom or BSc, I don't know, what is his qualification, I really do not know. Still, he is convincing professors from universities. And the way he talks is outstanding. There is something in him.
He had a poultry farm in Mysore.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. He first started with a poultry farm.
Yes.
It was going well. That's what he says. His business was going well. After that, he started moving around and got into lost interest over this poultry farm, and he started full-time meditation and spirituality.
Yeah, it's possible. And look at his chart.
Look at his chart. He should be a good businessman.
I don't see that. I see the exaltation point of Neptune in the sixth house of. See, sixth house is the house of competition. Sixth house is the house of sickness and diseases and healing ability. It's all about healing. He heals this world. He has given that inner engineering concept, my friend. What is that word? Inner engineering.
He has kind of decoded that matrix. That is what Neptune is all about, right?
And that is all possible because of this great planet Neptune in his sixth house.
Exactly.
One of the deepest exaltation points. Of course, Guru is there in the fifth house. Fifth house Guru makes him a very jovial person. Very jovial. Whoever has the Jupiter in the fifth house and he is sitting in the fifth house, it aspects its Lagna from its ninth aspect. So it makes very strong. He will never get killed in the accident. So he's a very confident man. He takes a motorbike. He goes right from London and reaches back to Coimbatore, all the way in the land road. Who can do that? A person who has got a blessed and he is shielded with the blessing of Jupiter, right? Is there. See, we can never forget all the beneficial planet Jupiter and its aspects. It is there. It's a shield for him.
Exactly.
Right?
And sun. See the sun in the fourth house.
Sun in the fourth house of Matrubhumi.
An own house. Sun is own house.
And fourth law, and his soul is towards the Matrubhumi.
Yes.
So he's so proud of India, Indian concepts, and he goes and tells to the whole world. So many people outside India know about India and spirituality of India through Sadhguru. People like Sadhguru.
Definitely. He has made a great impact on me.
He has made a very, very great impact. Okay, the way he talks, even you see, the second lord, Mercury, sits in the fourth house, right? So Mercury, the way he talks, he gets instant answer. He doesn't have to think too much. Everything is there in his mind already, right? So there are so many good points I like to highlight about Pluto, Neptune, and Planet X. And he gets the money. He gets he made a huge impact. What a wonderful ashram he has made. It is not easy to make such ashrams, and that
he is also a very good businessman. That's what I told you.
You can call him businessman, but I call him as a yogi. Definitely, he's a modern yogi. India needs such.
So what he himself has said, yogis are also businessmen.
Yeah, but he has not got any single bad remark, right? He is a modern
there are people who criticize him.
I personally feel after seeing his scope, he has got 12th house Ketu, right? 12th house Ketu is for moksham, right?
Yes.
So, and then planet Z is also there, and in the cycle of getting moksham, he's getting famous, right? Planet fourth lord in the 12th house. All the gains and sukham that he is going to get, he is going to spend it off. He is not going to. He's not a selfish man.
He is not a selfish man.
He is here to help the world.
And what I mean, you cannot. He is not a mean person. He's like a Sanman Shanta. Like he's a very big man, and he does it in a big way. Right.
All right. So, and he's very confident. That's the key word. Okay, Lagnadipati in the Lagnam and the deepest exaltation points again. Okay, so one last point before we stop this discussion about Amir Khan. I have made a video of this. I just wanted to show you the drama of Pluto sitting in the 7th house. What Pluto can do when it goes to the house of marriage, right? Look at his chart. I'm just focusing on 2 planets, the Chiron. Okay, the Centaur. Sorry, it's not a planet, it's a Centaur. You see where is Chiron? It's exalted, Chiron. And Pluto is also in its deepest exaltation point. Okay, it's not eagle avatar, it is grey lizard. It's beyond that. What is the third one? So he's not into that unlucky patch of grey lizard. Okay, yes. So he's in the Scorpio Pluto. Scorpion avatar of Pluto. So he's going to bite you back. Okay, he's very venomous.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Pluto. Pluto gets venomous in the Scorpio avatar. Okay, eagles are very high ones, like Narendra Modi. Right now, look at he's born in Aquarius Lagnam, number 1. And who is the ruler of Aquarius Lagnam? It is Uranus. He is always out of the taboo. He's going to He's going to break the rules. He even can marry a Hindu person, right? He in fact married Hindus only, being a Muslim, number one. Next one, so look at it. Everybody loved Amir Khan, even now also. He's one of my favorite actors because he's very talented. He only does few selected movies and he makes it as a super hit movie. Okay, so I'm not talking about that part. I'm only talking about his marriage. Why is it that unfortunately his marriages are getting failed and he had to marry two others? So from that point of view, if you look at the Pluto, being the lord of 10th, it is in the 7th house. So he may marry someone. 10th house is Karma Sthanam. So someone who is in his field, okay, in his way of his work, he gets attracted to them and he gets married to them. But Pluto does that constructive destruction of his marriage. So he married once, then again he had to sacrifice that marriage. He couldn't get satisfied. There is some misunderstandings. Again, second time, and now the third marriage also. Yeah. So this is what Pluto does. Okay. Why he married Hindu girls? Because Lagnadipati Uranus, which is a taboo planet, goes and sits in the 7th house of marriage. Is it clear, Sudhan? So this is very, very clear. Of course, he has got Savai Dosham or Mangal Dosh because 7th house Mars, which is also in classical astrology, which is not good. And he has got 12th Lord Saturn in the Lagnum. Yeah. Okay, and this also creates a lot of marital problems. This is also
when you say like marital problem, is this his problem?
It's all his karmic things, right? So there is unusual things that is going to happen. And look at the 7th Lord planet Z. His love affairs will get failure because planet Z, Cupid, gets debilitated. He becomes famous. He becomes very famous person because 5th house is the house of love, romance, creativity, and all that film acting. Why is Amir Khan one of the best film actors? Because he has got 5th house planet Z. Okay, that is what he's Amir Khan. Okay, when he comes on the screen, everybody loves him. But in his own personal life, there is some kind of marriage problems because of Pluto there, and it gets constructive destruction of the marriage. So these are all the karmic cycles.
So what do you say about the 4th house Rahu?
4th house Rahu gives some problem with the motherland people over a period of time. Whenever Rahu Dashas and Antar Dasha comes, he gets defamed and some people are going to scold him and things like that. You are seeing that happening. Okay, so I don't want to go to that aspect. Today's my topic was only the outer planets.
What about the 9th house Neptune?
9th house Neptune. He's very, very religious person in his mind. He goes to his Hajj. He believes in his God very well, and he does. Because 2nd Lord in the 9th house is also called Lakshmi Yogam. So he does a lot of dhanam. He believes in higher consciousness. He's a religious person in his own way. For sure. And Neptune gives him spirituality also in one way or the other, without a shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of doubt. Okay? Neptune is excellent in his chart. Chiron is beautiful in the Lagnam. 6th Lord, again, 6th house is all about litigations, divorces, court matters. It has come to it. His Lagna, but he whatever, people may misunderstand him, but as a soul, individual soul, he's a very good person. We can see that 9th house Neptune sums it up. Okay, so today's discussion was mainly on Pluto's importance in marriage. Yeah, this is you can use this knowledge and apply to your own field circle, and you will learn a lot about it. All right, so I think we have come to the end of this video. So if you have all the clients, if you have any questions, you can type it in the comment section. I'm sure Sudhan and me, we will be glad to take it up for our next session. We will try to answer your questions. All right. So if we had covered most of the topics today, I think we should stop it here. Yes. And it doesn't matter the time.
I think we had a very, very informative and interactive
session. I love to talk to you. You have a lot of questions, and you make me excited to go in deep into the subject.
So I'm like a keyboard, and you are like a computer, right?
I'm a seeker. I'm really seeker. More and more I talk to you. Also, I learn myself.
Exactly. I mean,
put the thing on the screen. Astrology is such a beautiful knowledge.
Exactly.
See more and more, you learn more and more. Yeah, that's the point. Okay.
All right,
So
Gopala.
let's stop this video here, and thank you very much, Sudhan. And let's
Thank you.
continue our session next week.
All right.
See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.